before I get to the video, I just have to get something off my chest. I will make it as quick as possible. I read all the comments, and lately I have been seeing many negative, ugly comments, especially on my videos where I mispronounce the word wing. Apparently, when I speak in my mind, I think I'm saying it right, but out of my mouth it comes out as W-I-N. And I had to delete many comments that were using foul language, calling me different names, like I'm unstable and other stuff. I know it's not PC to say anymore, but you know, people are calling me retarded and this and that, and what's the matter with me. And I delete that right away. A lot of kids watch this channel, so I try and make it as family friendly as possible by getting rid of that crap. So why am I bringing this up? Well, I want to take a moment and just say, listen, I have a speech problem. I have been seeing a speech therapist for 16 years. Basically, my whole life in school has been with the speech program. And they have done wonders. Before, I could not even pronounce TH sounds like there or them. It would come out as there, dem, dunder. So you know what? I have struggled my whole life to speak like quote-unquote normal people. And I'm not taking that garbage, okay? So if you don't like the way I talk, don't watch my channel. Do me a favor. Do all my viewers a favor, because nobody wants to read your hate speech, alright? So, having said all that, for all of you that also have speech issues, my hat's off to you. I hope everything works out in the end. And for everybody who's a speech therapist and helps people like me, a big thank you to all of you. One speech therapist I actually talked to about this specific issue with me saying win and wing, and she helped me out a little bit, so big shout out to Dana. So, you know what? That's enough for my rant, so let's get to the video. Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and if you're new to the channel, welcome! I am pumped right now, and I don't know why. Today I'm going to be looking at the Star Wars X-wing TIE Bomber expansion pack. Now the TIE Bomber was first seen in Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and for the ship's length, it measures in at a little over 1¼ inches long, which, as we'll see later in the comparison section, it goes well with the other Imperial fighters we looked at so far. So we're going to jump right into the review today. We're going to look at the dials and tokens, the cards, put it on a stand, show off that beautiful mold on that ship, look at the paint, compare it, and then we'll be done. So let's get moving. Now it's time for that dial token roll call. 1 maneuver dial. And for those that are interested, this is all the maneuvers the TIE Bomber can do. 2 ship tokens, which are double-sided. 1 focus token. 2 stress tokens. 1 critical hit token. 2 target lock tokens. 1 proton bomb token, and 1 seismic charge token. And finally, 3 ship ID tokens. So that does it for the tokens. So now let's take a look at the cards. Alright, starting off with the upgrade cards, like always, I will go over the title of the card. And if you'd like to pause the video and read the paragraph, by all means do so, and continue when you're done. First off, we have Advanced Proton Torpedoes, Assault Missiles, Proton Bombs, Seismic Charges, and finally, Adrenaline Rush. So that's all the upgrade cards, so now let's take a look at the ship cards. Alright, looking at the ship cards, the first one up is Major Reimer, Captain Jonas, Gamma Squadron Pilot, and finally, the Scimitar Squadron Pilot. Now you also get 2 reference cards, one about using bombs, and the other about bomb tokens. So that's all the dials, tokens, and cards. So now, let's take a look at the stand before we look at that beautiful model. For the stand, we've assembled a couple of these already. You get 2 pegs you put together to make a longer rod. Put it on the base like so. Take your model, be gentle and place it on the peg. And just like that, you're good to go. Alright, finally looking at the mold. Like always, I'll go over the main sections of the ship, and then we'll get nice and zoomed in to show off all the beautiful detail. Let's start with the front here. We have our transparasteel viewport. We have our ordnance pod on the right hand side. This right here is the missile launcher. Let's go down, shall we? Peg port for our stand. This right here is a targeting sensor and a bomb and chute. So it's kind of mixed together. And it came out really good. We'll get a closer look at that later. But some beautiful details. On the back, we have our twin ion engines. Pretty sick. I think that came out great. We have the top of the craft. Very nice looking. Lots of little added details. Beautiful. Then one of my favorite parts, The pylons, which have some negative space, which is amazing. This one, on the left hand, well, your left hand side, is sort of filled in with glue and paint, so you can't see through it. But this side, as you can see my skin, looks pretty sick. I love that detail. Now moving on to the wings. Some beautiful detail in the solar panels and the wing brace. Excellent. And the interior is done as well. Look at all that little details on the sides there. Amazing stuff. They really did a decent job. Beautiful. So that covers all the major parts of the ship. So now, let's get a closer look. Alright, having a closer look, here we have the wing. And as we can see, there is a bunch of raised sections across it. And I love the little trench that goes all the way around the border. Great stuff there. We have our wing brace, looking beautiful, and our solar panels, which looks amazing. As you can see, just hundreds of little raised little boxes. Beautiful stuff. Now if we turn the ship around, you can see it's the same exact design. Nothing really to comment about. Awesome looking. Now for the interiors. I love these rectangles here. I don't know why. I think that's a beautiful design. We have the brace right there, connecting it to the pylon. Amazing stuff. And I love all these little raised sections. Great. And of course the solar panels and some added little details. For the front, beautiful. I love this. And that wash just brings it to life. Great. For the pylons themselves, some nice detailing on there. I think it came out great. We have that negative space, as you can see my skin. Awesome. And the bottom, just a beautiful job. Lots of little sections here and there. Amazing. And this pylon's the same, except they paint filled in where it's open, as I mentioned before. So you're losing some of that negative space, but what are you going to do? Now for the centerpiece right here, we have tons of mold in here. And it's recessed and popping out. That is amazing stuff. It really is. And a lot of people don't notice that, but it is a lot of stuff in there. Coming on the top, the molding continues. And in between, we also have some molding right there. Hard to get light in there. There we go. We can see some triangles and pipes. Amazing stuff. Now on that section on the bottom, it's sort of flat with the peg glued on there. So not too bad. I think it looks amazing. I just love this section right here. Lots of parts on this particular ship stand out to me as being just filled with all these little amounts of detail packed into small spaces. Awesome. Next we have our transparent steel viewport. Nicely done. The window is recessed in, which is amazing. And some nice paneling around there as well. On top, beautiful molding. Check all that out. Amazing stuff. Same for the ordnance pod. Beautiful, nice panels. And then we come to the back with our ion engines. Beautifully done. And they do pop out a little bit, so that's awesome. And look around them. You have this nice molding that wraps all the way around. Amazing stuff. It's even on the top. Excellent. Coming to the bottom, more paneling, molding, and line work. Amazing, because the black wash is working with it and making it all pop, and it looks amazing. And I know I keep saying it, but it's a beautiful ship. Now we have our targeting sensor / bomb and shoot. And that looks awesome. We have some pipes there. Some molding on the bottom. And it is recessed, which looks great. We have a bunch of little circles there. Fantastic stuff. Some great molding on there as well. Beautiful. And finally, we have our missile launcher right in the front, which is recessed. You can see the two little arms sticking out, which is awesome. They are forked. And I always love the design around the missile pod. As you can see, it's recessed in. Just an amazing job. It really is. A fantastic looking ship. Just love all the little hidden details spread throughout. Amazing. So that's everything I have to say about the mold, so now let's take a look at the paint. Now when it comes to the paint of the TIE Bomber, we have 5 different colors. First one up is a nice bluish gray, and I think that came out amazing, and it's become the norm ever since The Empire Strikes Back. TIE Interceptors, TIE Fighters, and TIE Bombers are all blue, and I kind of dig that a lot. As we can see on the wings, they are nicely done. Interiors are painted. The engines, the ordnance pod, the cockpit, everything is that nice blue, and I think it came out great. Next up, on the wings, we have the black for the solar arrays. Nicely done, very clean. And it's also painted on the interiors as well. So that's always nice. Pretty sick. Now, besides that black, we also have glossy black for the transparent steel window, or the viewport. And then we have, I guess we could say, dark gray for the support beams that hold that in place. Very nice looking. And finally, you guessed it, black wash, which just fills in all these nooks and crannies and really brings this model to life. So that's everything for the mold and the paint. So now let's compare this to some other fighters, and then we'll be done. Now for a quick comparison with the Star Wars X-wing TIE Bomber, we have it next to 2 other Imperial fighters we already looked at. Starting off on the right hand side, we have the Imperial TIE Fighter, pretty cool looking vehicle. And then in the center, we have the TIE Advanced, and all of these are to scale. So you can see how they all go together, and I love that. Great models all around. I love these bad boys. And if you want to see the reviews of the TIE Advanced and TIE Fighter, I'll put the links in the description below. And that does it today for my review of the Star Wars X-wing TIE Bomber Expansion Pack. Again, this ship made its first on-screen appearance in The Empire Strikes Back, and for its size, it's a little over 1¼ inches long. Now, I love the TIE Bomber from The Empire Strikes Back when it's dropping its payload on the asteroids, but thinking of this ship, a good memory that pops in my head is waking up real early and playing Star Wars Rogue Squadron and just dropping these out of the sky. Oh, so much fun. So having said that, do I think this is a cool expansion to add to your collection? Well, obviously, version 2.0 has come out, making many of these ships obsolete. However, you can get the upgrade packs, which means you can rock these in a version 2.0 game. As an expansion, this is great. Everything you need is in this little pack to add to your core game. And now from a model collector perspective, in short, a beautiful model worth every cent based on the detail alone. Now when you put paint into that, it covers what it needs to cover, fills what it needs to fill, and it leaves you with the illusion that this is a little tiny vessel. And that's what it's all about. Now, if you're looking to buy one of these, I recommend eBay, Amazon, hobby shops. Now, usually this ship will be around $14.99. I've seen it lower and higher depending on where you go. Plus, in time, there probably will be a version 2.0 ship to come out, so you could always wait for that. So that's everything I have to say about the TIE Bomber today. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, hit that like button. And if you'd like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.